Blackhead prevention usually works best when it is gentle, steady, and realistic because blackheads tend to form slowly as oil, dead skin cells, sunscreen, makeup, sweat, and everyday debris collect near the opening of a pore over time. So the most effective goal is not to punish the skin, but to keep the skin barrier calm while reducing congestion little by little. A simple routine followed consistently is often far more useful than a dramatic routine that feels exciting for a week and then becomes too irritating to continue. Start with a mild cleanser in the morning and again at night, using lukewarm water instead of very hot water, because hot water can leave the face feeling stripped, tight, and uncomfortable. Cleanse with your fingertips rather than rough scrubs, harsh cleansing pads, or stiff brushes, because too much friction may make the skin look angrier without truly preventing clogged pores. If you wear sunscreen, makeup, or spend long hours in dusty, humid, or sweaty conditions, give the skin enough time at night to be cleansed thoroughly but calmly, because leftover product and buildup can sit on the face and contribute to a heavy, congested feeling, especially around the nose, chin, and forehead, where blackheads commonly appear. Choose non-comedogenic products when possible, including moisturizers, sunscreens, and complexion products, because some richer or greasier formulas may leave certain people feeling more clogged over time. Hair products matter too, since pomades, oils, sprays, and styling creams can transfer to the forehead and temples, so keeping heavier hair products away from the face may help reduce pore congestion around the hairline. Pillowcases, hats, towels, hands, and phone screens also deserve attention because the skin is always touching the surrounding environment, and cleaner surfaces often support calmer skin in small but meaningful ways. One of the most important habits is to avoid squeezing, scraping, pinching, or digging at blackheads at home, because aggressive picking often causes more redness, irritation, and lingering marks than the original clogged pore ever did. Blackheads are not simply dirt trapped in the skin. They are plugs made largely of oil and dead skin that darken when exposed to air, so scrubbing harder is not the magic solution many people imagine. Gentle chemical exfoliation often makes more sense than force. Salicylic acid can be helpful because it is oil-soluble and can work into the pore lining, helping loosen the buildup that contributes to congestion. It does not need to be used aggressively. A low or moderate strength product used regularly is often more practical than overusing strong products and ending up with burning, peeling, and discomfort. For some people, a retinoid such as adapalene may also help by improving skin cell turnover and reducing the tendency for pores to become crowded, but patience matters because the skin usually needs time to adjust. Starting too fast with too many active products at once often backfires, so a slow, steady approach is usually wiser than chasing instant results. Moisturizer is not the enemy of blackhead-prone skin. In fact, when skin becomes too dry or irritated, people often over-cleanse, over-scrub, and make the situation worse. A light fragrance-free moisturizer can support the skin barrier and make it easier to tolerate targeted ingredients. Sunscreen matters as well, because sun exposure can worsen the appearance of post-acne marks and may tempt people to use increasingly harsh products in search of faster improvement. A comfortable sunscreen that feels light on the skin is more likely to be used every day, and daily use matters more than searching endlessly for a perfect formula. Cleansing after heavy sweating, when practical, can also help, because sweat mixed with oil, sunscreen, and residue can leave the face feeling coated and uncomfortable. That does not mean washing the face all day long. Too much cleansing can irritate the skin. It simply means respecting the skin after exercise, yard work, hot weather, or long, humid afternoons. Diet is often discussed dramatically, but a calm approach is usually more useful. Some people notice personal patterns with certain foods, while others do not. Instead of fearing every meal, it usually helps to notice your own skin calmly, stay hydrated, eat a generally balanced diet, and avoid turning skincare into a daily panic. Sleep, stress, and routine changes also influence the skin more than many people realize. During stressful weeks, people often touch their face more, sleep less, snack differently, forget sunscreen, or skip the evening cleanse, and all of that can show up on the skin later. Prevention, then, is not just about products. It is about habits that are easy enough to repeat. Keep the routine gentle. Keep hands off the face. Use targeted ingredients carefully and consistently if your skin tolerates them. Moisturize. Wear sunscreen. Cleanse after heavy sweating. Keep heavier hair products away from the forehead. Change pillowcases regularly. Clean your phone screen. Avoid treating the skin like an enemy. Remember that calmer care usually leads to calmer skin, and that idea of steady maintenance always reminds me of a summer in a small American town where the older residents claimed to dislike excitement, avoided anything they called a fuss, and nevertheless managed to turn an ordinary charity bake sale into such a cheerful spectacle that people were still laughing about it at Thanksgiving. The town was called Fairweather Point, which was optimistic because the weather there changed its mood every 20 minutes, and the social center of town was not the marina, not the church, and not the hardware store, but a cozy cafe called the Lantern Spoon, where the coffee was strong, the cinnamon rolls were legendary, and the same group of retirees occupied the back table by the window every morning as faithfully as sunrise. There was Mildred, Millie Gresham, age 72, retired elementary school principal, wearer of bright cardigans, owner of a voice that could quiet both children and grown men, and possessor of a stare so effective that even seagulls seemed to rethink their choices when she looked at them. There was Vernon Pike, age 76, retired insurance adjuster, neat as a ruler, proud of his polished loafers, deeply suspicious of anything described as trendy, and permanently convinced that every community problem could be solved by labels, schedules, and a slightly firmer handshake. There was June Ellen Roper, 70, former hairdresser, current teller of truths nobody requested, who wore large sunglasses even indoors when she felt festive and considered gossip to be a branch of local history. There was Horace Bellamy, 79, who had once owned the town's bait shop, now moved at a thoughtful pace, heard only what interested him, and responded to about 1/3 of all conversations with stories that began, "That reminds me of a catfish incident in 1981. There was Lois Carmichael, 68, a recent widow with a crisp laugh, good posture, excellent pie crust technique, and the unnerving ability to make an entire room feel more organized simply by entering it carrying a tote bag, and presiding over all of them, usually from behind the cafe counter with a coffee pot in one hand and a pencil tucked behind one ear, was Agnes DeLuca, age 83, owner of the Lantern Spoon, unofficial keeper of town secrets, and the only woman in Fairweather Point who could insult someone, encourage them, and refill their mug all in the same motion. Trouble began when the town council announced that the old bandstand in Harbor Park needed repairs and that the senior center had volunteered to raise money with a Saturday bake sale, raffle, and community sing-along. That should have been simple. Fairweather Point loved baked goods, raffles, and singing in groups large enough to hide individual weaknesses. But simplicity has never had much luck where retired people with opinions are concerned. By 8:30 on Monday morning, the back table at the Lantern Spoon had unofficially become the planning committee. Millie said the event needed structure. Vernon said it needed accountability. June Ellen said it needed prettier tablecloths than last year, unless the town wanted the whole thing to look like a dentist's waiting room with frosting. Horace said in 1981, the Lions Club tried a raffle with a live goose, and the paperwork had been terrible. Lois, who had arrived only wanting toast and quiet, made the mistake of saying, "I used to help organize fundraisers when my husband was on the library board." Every head turned toward her with the delight of people who had just found free labor wearing sensible shoes. Agnes poured her more coffee and said, "Congratulations, honey. You just volunteered in complete sentences." Lois laughed, but by noon she had been named coordinator of baked goods, which sounded harmless and turned out to be the first domino in a chain of beautiful nonsense. The committee expanded quickly. Nancy Sue Pickett, from Maple Avenue, wanted to handle decorations because she owned jars full of ribbons sorted by season. Walter Finch offered to manage the raffle because he enjoyed authority in small doses and had a voice loud enough to announce winners over wind, traffic, and occasional civic disappointment. Ethel Monroe, age 74, signed up to lead the sing-along because she had once played piano for a church choir and considered every public event incomplete without at least one medley. Things might still have remained manageable if not for the arrival of an outsider, though technically she had lived in town for 6 months and was therefore no longer an outsider by legal standards, only by breakfast table standards. Her name was Patricia Ann Wexler, 69, recently moved from Chicago to live near her daughter, fashionable in a tidy, expensive way that made people sit straighter when she approached, and possessed of a background in corporate event planning that she mentioned so casually it somehow sounded like both a resume and a warning. Patricia came into the Lantern Spoon wearing cream-colored sneakers no one else felt worthy of touching, ordered herbal tea in a cafe that considered coffee a civic duty, and said she had heard about the fundraiser and would be delighted to help create a polished guest experience. Vernon nearly dropped his spoon. June Ellen later said that the phrase polished guest experience entered the room like a chandelier. Millie smiled her principal smile and invited Patricia to sit. Agnes, from behind the counter, whispered to Lois, "There are 2 possibilities here. She either saves the whole thing or brings us matching lanyards." Patricia turned out to be organized, cheerful, and alarmingly competent. She believed the bake sale needed zones. She believed the raffle table should have visual hierarchy. She believed the sing-along required a printed song sheet with a tasteful nautical border because Harbor Park sat near the water and branding mattered. June Ellen, who had never knowingly used the word branding outside of cattle discussions, repeated the sentence twice just to enjoy how ridiculous it sounded. Yet Patricia was impossible to dismiss because she complimented everyone sincerely, handled details efficiently, and had the rare gift of making older volunteers feel not managed but consulted. Within 48 hours, the event had grown. What began as a bake sale now included a pie contest, a hat parade, a postcard writing station for shut-in residents, and something Patricia called a memory wall, where people could pin handwritten notes about their favorite moments at Harbor Park. Horace asked if memories needed pushpins or if clips were acceptable. Nobody answered because nobody knew whether he was joking. Rehearsals for the sing-along started on Wednesday afternoons in the Senior Center Lounge. Ethel played piano with alarming enthusiasm and a tendency to count in louder than she played. The repertoire included old standards, patriotic songs, a folk tune no one fully knew, and a sentimental number called Down by the Lantern Bay, which Fairweather Point had adopted as its unofficial anthem despite the fact that there was no actual Lantern Bay. The singers were a charmingly uneven collection of retired teachers, widowers, church sopranos, amateur crooners, and one former dentist who believed any melody improved if taken down a key and delivered with sincerity. June Ellen insisted on singing harmony whether harmony was invited or not. Vernon did not sing at all but attended rehearsals to take notes on timing, which Ethel called deeply unromantic. Meanwhile, Lois discovered that being coordinator of baked goods in a small American town was approximately equal to directing a weather system. Everyone baked. Everyone baked emotionally. People who had not made cookies since the Reagan administration began testing recipes again, as if their personal legacy depended on lemon bars. Lois's phone rang constantly. She received calls about crust thickness, nut allergies, proper labeling, whether a bundt cake counted as festive or old-fashioned, and whether a church-famous pecan square could be entered in both the bake sale and the pie contest if it identified spiritually as a dessert bar. Agnes watched the whole process with enormous